Hi everyone, my name is Jem Beer. I'm the Head of Service for the Sunderland Safeguarding Children Partnership and Early Help at Together for Children. For this short briefing session, I'm going to be talking through our Safeguarding Partnership vision and our priorities, and also share some of the highlights from our 2024-25 annual report. I'll finish by sharing some ideas with you on how you could get more involved in this really important partnership. In line with Working Together 2023 guidance, the Safeguarding Children Partnership is led by our three statutory safeguarding partners, so that's the police, the council and the ICB. These make up our SSCP executive, which you can see on this graphic here, alongside our independent scrutineer. So this is the group where key decisions will be made. The three statutory safeguarding partners will also chair the subgroups which feed into the executive, so our SSCP board, our strategic exploitation group, a head teacher and senior manager forum, and a performance quality and assurance group, which we describe as the engine room of our partnership as it oversees a lot of the work. These important subgroups involved a wide range of additional partner agencies, including education, NHS service providers, the voluntary sector, probation, Gen 2, and many others, really anyone who has a role to play in safeguarding children. Given the complex work of the partnership, it's really important that we have a clear and shared vision and set of priorities. Our business plan, which can be found on our website, sets these out. The vision that we agreed for Sunderland is that we are a partnership driven by learning and reflection, working together with families to safeguard Sunderland's children and to make a difference. Our priorities were reviewed and launched in early 2025 to focus on the positive actions we know that we can all take to help achieve our vision and to safeguard Sunderland's children. These are to create an environment where professional curiosity is at the core of practice, to advocate for the identification and resilience of family and community networks, to use data, intelligence and surveillance to understand what's happening and to respond effectively, to share and embed learning, and finally to ensure information is shared across the partnership effectively to keep children safe. Now, this very busy slide is really just to highlight the many things that we look at and consider as a partnership to determine which areas we focus our work and attention on. So, for example, we will consider the learning that comes out of child safeguarding practice reviews and rapid reviews, both locally and nationally. We also have to ensure that we're following the guidance that's stipulated within Working Together 2023. And it's really important to also consider current societal issues that we know are impacting on our families. As single agencies, we will all have specific guidance that we follow in relation to safeguarding children. So why do we need to work together? Well, individual circumstances, context, capacity, and the different situations that we face mean it isn't possible for individual agencies to fully lay out our plans and prepare for and respond to all scenarios. Therefore, it's really important that we know our responsibility and our shared purpose to keep children safe, and that we keep this in mind and equip ourselves with all of the tools we might need to draw upon to achieve this. So, for example, we draw on the training and the guidance, the opportunities for multi-agency learning that are in place through the Safeguarding Partnership. We also rely upon those processes and systems, both the statutory and non-statutory ones, that are in place to support us. And we also hold in mind our knowledge of our own limitations and the agencies and professionals we can work with, because it's not possible for anyone to be an expert of all things. I'm now going to talk for a little while about our SSCP annual report that we published earlier in 2025. So Working Together 23 requires Safeguarding Partnership to publish an annual report by the end of September, and there is some guidance about what we should include within this report. During 24-25, we didn't actually have any incidents that met the criteria for a child safeguarding practice review, but we did continue to embed the learning from the Vulnerable Babies CSPR, which took place the previous year, and you can find the learning report around that on our website. We have also done a lot of work around quality assurance, so this forms a lot of the content of our annual report. We introduced a new multi-agency audit process, which will be used alongside our other learning and assurance mechanisms, for example, practitioner forums, which are a forum where we're really focused on frontline professionals and their perspectives on key issues. We also are looking into the development of a multi-agency data dashboard so that we can continually ensure services are working together as effectively as possible. Learning and practice are discussed at all of our performance quality and assurance group meetings, which is chaired by the ICB, and any recommendations that come out of that group are shared with our SSCP board. Our annual report is focused in really on our key priority areas that I mentioned earlier from our business plan. So the first area that we focus on is creating an environment where professional curiosity is at the core of practice. Professional curiosity is a term generally used to describe professionals using their skills, experience, and knowledge to recognise when there may be a need to investigate a situation further. It's a priority that emerges regularly from national and local child safeguarding practice reviews and also from multi-agency audits. So how have we measured success in this area? Well, we've included specific questions in our multi-agency audit process, which enables us to really look at whether professional curiosity is being demonstrated. Our serious youth violence audit, which we undertook earlier in the year, found some examples of effective professional curiosity. For example, an education setting demonstrated positive professional curiosity when discussing exploitation with a young person. We have also done a review of our SSCP training and made sure that professional curiosity is a golden thread throughout all of the training. We do also have specific professional curiosity training in place, and for those that attended this training, the average learning gain was 2.67. Learning gain is an evaluation term we use which combines knowledge, skills, and confidence. So what have we done well? Well, transition from childhood to adulthood is a potential time of real safeguarding risk, and the SSCP worked together with the Safeguarding Adults Board to hold a workshop bringing partners together to be professionally curious towards the challenges and best practice around transitions. On the back of this, we created a 7-point briefing, and also a number of actions were identified which are being taken forward. You can find the 7-point briefing on our website. Another example of something that's gone well is that the Multi-Agency Safeguarding Hub, otherwise known as the MASH, and Early Help Front Door are now co-located and work closely. Effective co-location of services helps to increase professional curiosity through broadening perspectives and enabling real-time professional discussion and challenge. In addition to this, a speech and language therapist employed by South Tyneside and Sunderland Foundation Trust has been commissioned to work alongside We Are Together, the Edge of Care team, in order to streamline and coordinate a joint approach to vulnerable children and young people with speech and language needs. What will we do next? Well, as part of the Family's First programme implementation, which is currently taking place, we will be establishing multi-agency child protection teams. So that will again create opportunities for professional curiosity and for discussion and challenge. We will also be exploring greater opportunities for professional curiosity through appreciative inquiry. Through increasing our identification of family and community networks, both of which represent invaluable resources which children, young people and their parents or carers can draw on, we can offer more robust support and recognise the important role that a range of people can play in the life of a child. So how have we measured success in relation to this? Well, Together for Children data had shown that child protection rates have reduced, and the push around working with family networks is likely to be a significant factor for this. What have we done well? Well, the voluntary sector are really well placed to reach communities and families that may be underrepresented within our other services. So we've now made sure that we have a voluntary sector representative on the SSCP board, and we've worked closely with the Voluntary Sector Alliance and Washington Mind to develop safeguarding training that meets their needs. Family hubs and community engagement activity has also continued to play a really important role in enabling family and community networks. What we plan to do next is that we have seconded a head teacher to work with us to strengthen links and communication pathways with education settings. So this is also something that was set out very clearly within Working Together 23, and we're working really hard to make sure that we can really strengthen the partnership working between the rest of the partnership and education settings. Child safeguarding practice reviews, alongside local and national data and intelligence, provide us with information on a range of areas of focus that we know can impact on children's safety. The SSCP during 24-25 have agreed our measures of success in relation to these areas of focus, and the Performance, Quality and Assurance Group have a key role to play in overseeing and surveilling the data and intelligence, and to identify trends that feed into our measures of success. So what have we done well? Well, in 23-24, TFC Social Care briefed the SSCP board about an increase in child protection numbers. To better understand this increase, they reviewed and audited reasons for the increase and found there wasn't one single cause, but there was an increase in complexity of cases. As previously mentioned, these numbers have been steadily reducing now for a range of reasons. As mentioned, there's been strengthened emphasis on family networks, but also last year, the multi-agency thresholds guidance document was updated in partnership with education, providing an opportunity to remind professionals of the need for consistent application of thresholds. There's also been continued work on Operation Encompass, which has enabled improvements to information sharing around domestic abuse incidents between Northumbria Police, TFC Social Care and Health. STSFT audits identified that this information supported practitioners' knowledge of risk to the unborn and household and allowed for a more informed conversation with the mother and support thereafter, including targeted domestic abuse support whilst mother was in hospital from the STSFT Domestic Abuse Health Advocate Service, otherwise known as DAHA. Information on school-aged children is shared with education settings as well, and education settings in turn share information with Together for Children. Partners are exploring how this information sharing could be expanded to include early years settings. So what will we do next? Well, we are in the process of developing a data dashboard for the partnership, and once this is available, partners will be able to update this quarterly, and that data will be reviewed at performance, quality and assurance meetings, where we will also RAG rate the data to make sure we're focused on any kind of new issues that we need to be concerned with. Any concerns or good practice will be escalated to the SSCP board. Another key priority is to share and embed learning as a partnership. So how have we measured success in this area? Well, we do deliver a range of training to partners, and this year we introduced a training and skills audit to really look at whether the training provided meets the needs of the different services involved in the partnership. All training was evaluated, and there's more details about that in the full report. The biggest learning gain can be seen in the training focused on fathers, which was commissioned as a specific response to the Learning from Our Vulnerable Babies CSPR. In 2023, the Joint Targeted Area Inspection, otherwise known as a JTI, found that consideration and analysis of children's ethnic identity, cultural heritage and diverse needs in referrals, assessments and plans was not consistently evident. So in response to this, we've included relevant questions within all multi-agency audits that we undertake. We've also undertaken a practitioner forum to work with professionals to create evidence and intelligence-based actions specific to culture, ethnicity and identity. Another really positive thing that's taken place in 24-25 is that we had 568 professionals attending SSCP training events, and an additional 228 attending sessions that took place during Safeguarding Learning Week, which we host jointly with the Adults Board. What do we plan to do next? Well, we will continue to deliver online and face-to-face training, but we also want to introduce some more innovative approaches, including podcasts, a newsletter, and a really good focus on the sharing of good practice, because too often we're focused on the things that have gone wrong, when actually we can learn just as much from the things that are going really well. Our fifth priority is around information sharing across the partnership. And there's lots of things that we've done really well in relation to information sharing this year. For example, our serious youth violence multi-agency audit, which we undertook earlier in the year, demonstrated some really good information sharing, particularly the shared work of the multi-agency safeguarding hub and really good multi-agency attendance at meetings. Extensive partnership work was undertaken during 24-25 around communications. The SSCP worked with a communications and marketing company to review our pathways and mechanisms for communications. Following extensive engagement across the partnership, the insight gained from partners was used to develop a brand new communication strategy, which can be found on our website. and an annual communications plan is now in place, and we widely share this with partners to enable joint planning. In March, partner agencies delivered presentations at a Back to Basics information sharing event, summarising what their service provides, how they link in with the work of the SSCP, any challenges they're facing, and an example of good practice, something they were proud of. This helped to build empathy across the system and understanding as well, and enabled partners to identify really solid opportunities for collaboration. The event was also used to develop some short films focused on our business plan priorities and the importance of working in partnership. A selection of these short films can be found on our website. So we're coming towards the end of this briefing now, but before I finish, I wanted to share some recent areas of work that we've been doing, just to make sure that you're aware of everything that's going on. And also on the slides, you'll be able to find links to any of the reports or resources that we've been developing. So we regularly will update all of our policies and procedures in relation to children's safeguarding. So most recently, we've updated our child safeguarding practice review and rapid review guidance, and also our guidance around professional dissent at child protection conferences. As you will have seen from this briefing, we have published our 24-25 annual report, which is now sitting on our website. We have also published a 5-point briefing in relation to a young adult for whom we undertook a learning review. We have published a 7-point briefing in relation to transitions, as I mentioned earlier. We've also established a Families First programme board and launched a pilot in relation to the implementation of Families First, which is in the Coalfield area, and will be rolled out as time goes on. We are in the process of rolling out our SSCP communication strategy that I referred to, and as part of that, we have now launched our newsletter, which we publish at least 3 times per year, and also we put on podcasts regularly. So if you ever have a topic for a podcast or content for our newsletter, you can always just get in touch. We have just completed a multi-agency audit on domestic abuse, which you can find the report for on our website. And we've also just started a practitioner forum focused on learning in safeguarding. We also have lots of areas of work either just starting up or on the horizon. So every November we have Safeguarding Learning Week, which we organise in partnership with the Safeguarding Adults Board. We are also currently undertaking a multi-agency audit focused on children in remand. So in the future, we'll be able to publish a report on that topic on our website. And we are planning for another multi-agency audit focused on children's mental health. Northumbria Police have also coordinated a multi-agency audit focused on the Casey review. So this is into child sexual abuse and exploitation. We have undertaken a child sexual abuse snapshot, which was facilitated by the NSPCC, to look at what we're doing currently to support children who may have experienced sexual abuse and to make sure they get the support that they need. We have 2 child safeguarding practice reviews currently planned or underway, and one with a primary focus on adult-related services. And we will continue to strengthen our involvement of education within the Safeguarding Partnership, and we're absolutely committed to making sure we find a really solid way forward with that. And in the new year, we'll be looking to do a practitioner forum focused on attendance and belonging, because we have seen a reduction in children attending school. So really important that we look into that, as that can be a key safeguarding issue. So as promised, I said that I would end by talking about some of the things that you could do to get more involved in the Sunderland Safeguarding Children Partnership. So first of all, you can subscribe to our SSCP website and encourage other people in your team to do so as well. And then you'll be able to get hold of our newsletter and any really useful new resources that are published. You could also consider what safeguarding training you and your team need and ensure you're prioritising attendance at training and learning events that we put in place. You can follow us on LinkedIn, and you can consider the SSCP business plan priorities in everything that you do. These are our shared priorities that will enable us to achieve our vision by working together. You can also look after yourself and each other. It's so important that when we're doing this really challenging work at times, we make sure that we're there for each other, and that we do reach out when we need the support of either other people within our team or other agencies. And you can always ask for help from us if you need it. If you're looking for something, you're not sure where to go, you can always drop us an email. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope to speak with you soon.